Hey, what's up? Thank you so much for coming back to my channel or watching it for the first time. Today we're playing Metroid Prime Remastered on the Nintendo Switch. I originally played the GameCube version. I never played the Wii remake with the aiming controls. This game does support it. One great thing about this version, it supports dual analog sticks, so it controls much like a modern first-person shooter. The original game had a lock-on system, which you can of course revert back to, but once you play the modern controls, I find it very difficult to go back. Now, I only played the first game of this series on GameCube. I actually owned it. I really liked it. I didn't care much for the sequel. I rented it one time. I wish I would have given it more time, and I never played 3 on the Wii. And then 4 is coming out, and I'm supposed to be really excited about it, but I only really like the first game because that's the one I just have the most experience with. And this game is kind of hard to find physically right now. Don't give up hope, because I found one somehow. I wasn't even looking for one, so they are out there. I think they're making more, so if you're just debating on waiting or not, whether to get the digital version like me, because I was about to give up and get the digital version because I didn't really look for it when it was released, thinking it'd be a common thing. And then when it was rare, I just gave up, and I was like, if I find it, I find it. If I don't, I'll just get it digitally. But it looks like the prices are coming down, and I found one, which makes me think that there's more out there. If I sound a little bit out of breath, I apologize. I just took my allergy medicine and just walked the dog, and the pollen is really bad outside. So let me shut up and get started. So this is the Metroid first-person shooter game. This is the first entry in the series. This takes place sometime after the original Metroid and before Metroid 3. I can't remember if it takes place before or after Part 2, but I imagine sometime after Part 2, but you can look it up on Wikipedia. I'm not a Metroid expert, but let's get started. I remember this game being praised for like it having really good graphics, but at the time, like, I don't know, it kind of looked like every other game to me. I thought it looked nice, but I didn't really see anything stand out about it beside the art direction. It was kind of cool, kind of unique looking for a sci-fi game, and kind of has its own unique aesthetic and look. And I do kind of like, even though it was like a CD based game, or like whatever the GameCube DVD was, they stuck to music that sounds similar to the Super Nintendo. It has a very synthesized, like, not CD quality soundtrack. It still sounds like it's coming off of a cartridge, like actually closer to like what I'd say what the music on the Nintendo 64 sounded like. So they announced a remaster, but I mean, beside the gameplay being the same, the graphics are completely redone. This game never looked like this nice or detailed. It still looked good for its time though. This was one of those games when they first announced that the new Metroid was going to be like the first person game. I was legitimately worried. I was like, how will that even be fun? It'll feel like a completely different thing. And somehow they translated the feeling to a 2D game into a 3D game somehow, and it works fairly well. I'm happy to see that they still respect the 2D games and still create 2D games, as well as apparently when Metroid Prime 4 eventually comes out, I guess they'll support 3D games again. I like how, is it Samus? That's the way you say her name? Like, her ship kind of looks like her helmet, or a horseshoe crab. I don't know what it's actually supposed to look like. I really like the basic shaders on this. This is similar to how the shading was. It's a little bit more detailed on this to GameCube, where it's like not a whole lot of scratches and stuff like you see in a lot of sci-fi games. Everything kind of looks brand new on the armor. It almost looks like like something from like how people draw Atlantis. It almost looks like a mixture of old and new armor combined together. And I love this little visor effect that it has, and how it like wobbles a little bit. It's a simple effect. It looks like it's rendered. I don't think it's a 2D sprite, because I see like some anti-aliasing, or no, actually aliasing going on the edges of that. So at first I thought it was like just like a like a painting and they just put it over it, but it's actually rendered. So originally how you would do this is you would hit the lock button and it would just lock. But now with like full camera control like this, when you had to aim like this, you couldn't move. It was much like Resident Evil 2, except you could never aim and walk in the original Resident Evil. I didn't mean to say 2, I meant to say 4. But you know, with the camera control combined, it makes it super easy. Some people complain that it feels too easy. I haven't got far enough in the game to feel one way about it or another, so that's something. I do like the aspect. It felt fairly fresh at the time to scan everything and get some basic information and lore. There's no like talking cutscenes in this game. Everything's told visually, beside like maybe text and notes and stuff like that. So I kind of appreciate that storytelling. It's kind of unique. I mean, other games do it, but it's less common. I guess I still gotta show him. Always forget about those ones up there. So like really sharp, really nice. Everything's super clean. You know, if you have limited hardware, like art direction, as I always say, goes a long way, and there's just personality in this that has its unique look. You can kind of look at it and be like, this is a Metroid game. When somebody can look at one screenshot and tell it's your game, assuming that your game isn't just infamous for looking like shit, I guess that's a pretty cool compliment. You're gonna let me in. See, now that I'm talking, I'm having trouble like focusing on the game. And of course that was during a silent moment, so it just sounds like a bullshit excuse, and maybe it kind of was. I'll never admit to it. So I feel like the lighting and everything's improved. The animation does look somewhat similar, but that's fine. Like, these creatures don't exist in real life. You know, I don't expect them to have like to react to like every part of their body that's hit or whatever, because it's supposed to still capture that feel of a 2D game. And if you're not familiar with the Metroid formula, or the Metroidvania formula as it's sometimes referred to, basically the game's like this. Like, you have a map and you explore it, and you're basically locked out by like a certain specific type of door that requires a specific item, and then you go through the rest of the map and find that item and rinse and repeat, and you just travel further and further. The original Metroid didn't have a map, so back in the day, forgot I gotta scan these. Back in the day, you would have to actually use graph paper or get like a strategy guide that already had the map printed on it. Luckily with future games, they eliminated that problem. I believe this game literally tells you where to go if you like happen to look at the map, but I try to like wing it first. I think I gotta turn into the morph ball now. Yeah, I'm sitting on the floor, so I happen to not look up, and I was pushing the equivalent to the Y button on Xbox. I like how the computer zooms out for like the morph ball mode. Zoe, I know you use the litter box. Sorry, my cat meows every time she takes a dump in the litter box. Like, she's notifying me. You don't have to lock on. It just makes it way easier. But yeah, like, interesting environment. I mean, despite them redoing the graphics, I mean, the layout is pretty much the same as the GameCube version. I mean, this feels like how I remember the GameCube version. The only reason why I know it doesn't look like that, because of videos showing what the GameCube version looks like. So if you're intimidated by first-person shooters too, don't let this game scare you too much, because Even though it's technically one, it doesn't feel like a traditional one. Oh gosh, this cat just sat right near where the microphone is. This is what it's like to record videos of animals, folks. I live in an old house where the interior doors don't latch because all the wood shrank, and you have animals that know how to pull the doors open. Yeah, you gotta baby gate the place up, but now that the dog's big, she just basically leave that damn thing, and now I'm not playing the game because I'm talking about the dog. Welcome to Mikey's Video Game Madness. It's that channel today because this is a video game video. I want to make proper recorded videos. I really wanted to get this one out fast, so this one wasn't as well thought out, but I was hoping that the game would make up for my shit commentary, but you know, live and let live. We'll see how it goes. Usually when I make these types of videos, I'm enthusiastic to share something with you. Sometimes when I stream, I try to make a compromise, something I kind of want to play, or something that I might think you're interested in. And these shorter videos are like pure selfishness. I'm like, I think this game is cool, I want to share it with you. Or I think this game is so bad, I think it's hilarious how bad it is, and I want to share it with you that way. I don't know if you guys like me reading all this stuff to you, but if you would like me to, morphology, parasite, larva, info, harmless unless encountered in large numbers. It's a plasma, info, native to Talon 4. If I get any of these names right or I skip them, I just don't want to fuck anything up and sound stupider than I already do, because I have like, I hate to use the word performance anxiety because that sounds like something totally different. So I guess recording anxiety. So like my brain's like, people are gonna be watching this, so there's always that thought in the back of my head. So no matter how natural I try to play my gameplay off, it'll never be like playing on my own. That's why like those non-commentary videos, when I mute everything and I just pretend, like I won't even put up how many people are watching. I'll just play the game unless somebody talks to me, because that way over time I can convince myself I'm just playing the game. But I would like to interact, but I'm just quiet because I'm not responding. I'm not a good, as you can tell as I'm making this video, like coming up with conversation off the top of my head while playing a game, and nobody's there to respond. That's very difficult, and streaming is just a fairly new thing to me. Videos, I've always kind of wung it, like, is it wung it? Or kind of winged it, I guess that's what you would say. Sorry. See, I'm overthinking everything. I forgot I have a little Mega Man charge shot there. Is it morphology is what they're trying to say? I have to look it up later. It's like, is that a word? Is that made up for this game? It's not a word you use much in non-science fiction terms, I guess, or maybe in biology. Maybe in a lab, it's common practice. There used to be like this trampoline place called Jumpology. I'm pretty sure they made that up. These little turrets are the worst. If you notice, I just kind of walked into it. Like with the dual analog sticks, the one unfortunate part about it is it lowers the difficulty so much. Like a lot of things that were originally challenging do tend to be easier. Like I said, other people have reported, but I don't think it's like taking away the fun factor from the game or anything, if that's like a concern for you. Like, if you missed out on this game, like, it's the perfect time to play it because you don't have to play like a lower res GameCube version. This will look nice on in handheld mode. Although I personally, maybe because of my shit eyesight, have trouble playing first person shooters in handheld mode. Everything's too tiny for me. Oh, I gotta turn into a little more. Oh, and I keep on thinking it's the Y button on the 360 controller, which is really weird because I haven't played like an Xbox game in quite some time. I do like, as I said earlier, that how that camera goes in the third person. Where are the pickups to be drawn? Is that a pickup? It looks like a missile. I have to look at not the computer, the controller, because I don't know what ZR is offhand. That's the bigger trigger. Okay. That's how you do it. What a humiliating way to open up a door. Okay, we got it. Alright, with something suspicious, shit's about to go down, because he doesn't look that friendly. Also, he has apparently the core of a star in his stomach, so that's kind of bad news. If I defeat this creature, we lose. I want that core to go imploding on itself. Thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up as you go down, please. Like, just one claw. Just do it, please. Oh, man. I appreciate the explosion. Thank you, artists. You somehow know I appreciate a good explosion. Oh, I, however, do not appreciate time sequences because they stress me out. If you could only see the look on my face when I do those Sonic streams and I'm about to drown through those games and it plays that awful music. Where it's like and it's like counting down. I believe that's when my anxiety first started to show symptoms. Oh, yeah, I probably should. Maybe do I have to defeat these mofos? I just want to saw something. Great. Let me... It's like pinball from hell. Oh, it's been bumped. Good. I knew you had bombs before, and I do now. That's cool. The thought I had to get those. No, jump over them. I think this is the wrong way. Should have took a left at Albuquerque. It's a shitty Bugs Bunny joke. It's like old as hell. Gear morph ball. What is that? That's not morph ball. I've never run out of time on this, and I guess, of course, when I'm streaming, I'm gonna fuck it up. That's the way it goes. Yeah. No. I went away from my too quickly. Me up or what? Now I forgot which way I'm supposed to go. Guess I'm supposed to go this way since they're in the map. Like I'm going backwards though. Or not. I literally just go backwards on everything. Of course. It's an eager little ball. Looks like Ridley's got some modifications. I don't know the character's name is really well beside the main character. I do think the character was, though, purposely named after Ridley Scott, whatever the alien character was. ZL, which one was that? Even though I have had a Switch for a while, I primarily play on PlayStation. Yes, we can do better. If this takes me back to the beginning, I'm just gonna stop because there's no point of making like an hour-long video of me retrying. That's more for like streaming. But I highly recommend, if you have a way to check this game out and you're tired of stereotypical like first-person shooters, even side-scrolling games, Even though this is an older game, they made it feel new, and even though my demonstration of gameplay was awful, maybe I'll do a video at some point of actually showing off the game. It's just very difficult for me to try to make an informative video and pay attention to everything at the same time. Like I said, the more I do it, the better I am, but there has been like quite a long break in between regular videos, so I have to adjust back into it because I'm just used to streaming often with like my controller on mute. But anyway, I hope this video will suffice. I hope I put more videos up that are a little bit more thought out than this one, but I hope that doesn't take away from the appeal of this game, because I should not affect your opinion about this game. I just hope that I put it on your radar, whether you're interested in it or not. But thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate the communication and everything. And I know I was supposed to say, like, when you smash that bell on the like button, every chicken gets its wings, but I mean, I have this cheesy little cat video at the end. That's good enough. And I know that you're ultimately gonna subscribe, or like whether I put one of those videos up or not, or whether I say those things, because like I just think the cat at the end is humorous. But I'm all over the place. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Appreciate you all. Take care. Bye.
If you want to, like, comment, and subscribe! Thanks for watching!